East Copper Belt Province brings to you The Lens, a program designed to bring insightful information on economics, mining, education, health, tourism, agriculture, environmental issues, sports, entertainment, current affairs, and many issues affecting the well-being of society.
Welcome to The Lens, coming to you live from Zanis Copperbelt Studios. Welcome. We are zooming into Indeni. As you may be aware, there was no way you would look back to a flashback like this, talk about Ndola, and not mention Indeni oil refineries. Now, this is a flashback courtesy of the British Pathé and also Mate Gadget Store Shop 9 Rickersmore that have provided us with this interactive screen to showcase where we are coming from. Now, back then we see late and first President of the Republic of Zambia alongside his counterpart, late, may their souls rest in peace, Julius Nyerere, officially opening the Indeni oil refinery. Now, historically, this was a great day for Zambia because that meant that Zambians could look forward to cheaper fuel, affordable fuel, and available stocks. You've seen the storage there, which still exists today, by the way. Now, we will look back to where Indeni has come from, as you've seen. Quite a long way back. It's transformed because a lot of things have transformed. You're looking at old technologies here to new ways of operating. Now, in helping us understand this, Mr. Evans Mota will be talking to us and will guide us through how Indeni has transformed over the years. This is The Lens from Zanis Copperbelt. Mr. Mota, welcome to The Lens. Good to have you.
Thank you very much and welcome.
Indeed. Well, 60 years of Zambia's independence, we've taken you back to the official opening of Indeni Tazama as well, the Ndola Oil Storage Company. All this happened around the same time, I believe. Give us a brief background to Indeni Oil Refinery and now Indeni Energy Company.
Indeni Oil Refinery was born out of a series of circumstances in the region at the time.
Right.
Going back to 1964, 60 years ago, we were importing our products through Southern Rhodesia then, which is now Zimbabwe. At the turn of independence, and a year later after that, Southern Rhodesia declared a unilateral declaration of independence and broke away from the British rule.
Right.
And immediately closed the borders to Zambia, the northern border, and that cut out the energy supplies for Zambia immediately. If you go back then, the infrastructure for energy was all set up for the southern part of this region, of the federation, that is. Indeni, Zambia, as a newly born country, had challenges to develop, challenges to make sure the copper mines operated. So the whole ploy of the UDI was to constrain Zambia from progressing.
Wow.
And, gratitude given to the first president, and also the first president of Tanzania, Julius Nyerere, and who cooperated and immediately put it into a system of cooperation that ensured that products, finished products that were coming from Southern Rhodesia started coming via road from Tanzania. What was then called the Hell Run, because the road was like going on a trip to hell.
Oh, yes,
There were a lot of accidents, fatalities, challenges, and so on on the way. And it took so many days for petroleum products to reach this country. Shortly after that, the cooperation culminated into what is known as the Tazama pipeline.
Right.
And started bringing finished products, basically petrol, diesel, and kerosene through the pipeline. Over time, the government at the time decided that, look, we're only bringing in a limited number of products, so we needed to increase the product spec, because the mines still needed some products that could not come through the line, like HF4. Then they embarked on constructing what is known as Indeni Petroleum Refinery. So fast forward, Indeni Petroleum Refinery came into being in June 1973, and they started operating as a refinery, bringing in commingled feedstock from the Middle East. I'm sure you've read in the news that in the media, Indeni was not a refinery, it was just a separator.
Yes.
A terminology that emanates from lack of full comprehension of what a refinery is.
Right.
All refineries, by the way, are separators. The only difference is whether they're complex or simple.
Right.
And hydroskimming. Ours is a simple refinery. Others are complex, but they are all separators. The initial stage of refining processes is separation.
That's right.
After the chemical processes take place to try and convert the respective semi-finished products into finished products. So Indeni was bringing in a commingled crude. What is a commingled crude? It is a crude that is diluted with unfinished products.
Products, right.
At the time it was lighter components. We mix it. The whole objective was to ensure that whatever products come in, they are all consumed. It's just to create a balance, because the market at the time, and even many years later, did not conform to any particular crude, and the refinery was not advanced enough to bring in a pure crude and convert it into finished products, what is popularly known as hydrocracking. So we did not have that technology at the time, even at the time of closure. So it was bringing in commingled crude, and it saved the country all the way up until 2021 and officially closing in 2022. So
What led to the closure?
over time, a period of approximately 49 years, there was no major investments in the refinery, apart from maybe the petroforming unit, which was moving with time, the technology was changing, and so on and so forth. But there was upgrade technology and cleaner fuels technology. So the lack of upgrading cleaner fuels technology, popularly known as a hydrotreater, made it difficult for us to be relevant in the current business market. You may be aware that the fuel slate that was coming from Indeni was about 5,000 ppm and sulfur for diesel.
Right.
And it was a spec for the 70s all the way right up to mid-90s, early 2000s. Our friends in other parts of the world, including just next door in South Africa, were progressing in line with the climate change requirements and cleaner fuels. So they were already operating at about 500 ppm when it's still at 50,000. The vehicular technology had moved to about 500 ppm and 50 ppm. So it became impossible for us to meet those demands. And as a result, the high sulfur diesel was coming down as a downgrade into products such as heavy fuel, which was doing in the mines and so on and so forth. But it was still getting into some older vehicles. But the slate of the older vehicles was becoming smaller. So
Right.
in the whole scheme of refining economics, we are putting in this amount of money and we won't realizing it's more. So it was a negative margin, basically.
Right.
And it became uneconomical to continue with refining in that mode. This is a transition that takes a bit of time to transition, but I think it moved in the manner that we did. We did faster, but the shock also resulted in other opportunities.
Right. Fast forward, reopened with a whole new mandate, becoming an oil marketing company, transitioning from the refining aspect to an oil marketing company. How has this transition fitted in, especially that it's happened quite quickly? Closed officially in 2022,
Yeah,
reopened last year?
Official closure was 2022 at the refinery.
Right.
The facility remained to process what was in the pipeline.
Right.
As the last kick of operating the refinery. We just to clean. When the cleanup of the refinery ended up with the crude oil, which was dead stock, so we had to clean it. So the facilities remained like that. So official operation ended a year after.
Right.
But the official change of the business was in 2022.
2022.
Yes, and the name was changed to Indeni Energy. And, the business model was changed. A new strategic plan was put in place.
Right.
So the whole idea was to convert it into a storage and distribution company, popularly known as OMC. So we are in that business now, and we have supply contracts, which are sustainably being executed.
Right.
We have offtake contracts with the mines, also sustainably maintained. We also have other off-takers that are taken from us, including the oil marketing companies. So we've now come back as a company that has gone on the downstream. As you know, the oil sector is in 4 different stages on the value chain. There's what is known as exploration, and there's the operations, which is where we develop the crude oil extract it, put it into a serviceable, usable, sellable crude oil, and then we've got the refining and marketing. So we've basically gone a step down the value chain from refining into the marketing stage.
Right.
So we've done basically integrating forwards.
Now, what makes Indeni stand out among the rest when it comes to the marketing aspect?
Indeni has the largest storage capacity in the country of any OMC. It's the biggest is sitting at Indeni. Because we have converted the crude oil tanks into diesel tanks and a few other HF or heavy fuel oil tanks into. So we are standing with the largest fuel storage capacity in the country. And this puts us at an advantage because we can operate and store strategic reserves. What we are operating on right now is a hand-to-mouth kind of business. It's not good for strategic operations in the country.
No.
So we are now looking into how we can position ourselves to be relevant again in the industry, because we've got the infrastructure and we've retained the skills from the oil refining. It's a petroleum skills. We've retained them, and we're using these trained skills to convert it into a new business model, and we're riding on the systems that were left by the multinationals. We're an agile company before ENI. That's where the Eni comes from. It's an Eni from Italy. And later on, we were French Total, Total Ultramarine. So we have integrated. We have used experience from both to try and ricochet and position ourselves for the future.
Right. So how has business been, and how have employment figures looked like after this transformation?
Well, the employment figures, they've gone down.
Right.
We're looking at about 50% of the employees that we had at the time.
Because of technology? Or
No.
the
Because
mod?
the operations department is moribund.
Right.
Most of the operations department and maintenance department, which was fully fledged, is now moribund. We only have a few skilled engineers to carry out specialist skills that we need for the new company. So we have had to scale down on the manpower, and that's where we are now. So
Right.
in terms of value addition to the business community, to multiply effects, Indeni used to supply or was home to a number of suppliers in dollar, about 1,000 database last time I checked, and they are contributing to the GDP of dollar, but that has dropped to zero. But we are resubstituting this with the new business model, because we are now going to go into further down in the marketing, into retail. We're already doing bulk, by the way, so we're going into marketing. So we'll try to recreate the business opportunities in that. But this time around, they'll go countrywide, because we need engineering services at the service station. We need supplies. We need to also supply the fuel stations dotted all over the country. So we hope in the next 1.5 to 2 years to try and see if we can reinvent the same multipliers that we had. Yeah, maybe with a different set of people. Yeah, we're trying to see if we can target the youth as much as possible, because I think the distribution of products will be more inclined to youth transportation and participation, the running of safe stations. I've seen what some of our competitors are doing with the youth. They've got these young entrepreneurs programs. We hope to get into that, where the youth are empowered through running of this service station, of course, with the guidance of ourselves. And we intend to offer training from it. We're already speaking to 1 or 2 companies abroad, in Europe, a few other areas from the US, so that to come and give us training, and they're ready to offer training at reduced rates to try and see how they can help us come back.
Right. Right. Now, as we are slowly winding up, Mr. Mota, I would want to understand what your projections are, seeing that you're now in business, a whole new model, mainly supplying diesel. Do we by any chance expect to see you get into petrol as well?
Yes, very soon. We intend to bring the whole spectrum of products that we're producing back. And the tankage is available, the infrastructure is there. It's just the resources that we are working around. At the moment, our resource envelope only allows us to bring in one product. And we've had a contract that allows us to take a product on credit and keep revolving it. And it's working well for us, and it's helping our organic growth. So we can't take on too many fronts at the moment. Even the strategies we're talking about are in the plan, but we want to ensure that we get some levels of financial stability, and then we can embark on new supply streams. So we're getting back into petrol within the next 2 years. We're getting back into jet air-1, which is aircraft fuel. We're also getting back into the liquefied petroleum gas. In fact, we've started some engineering works already, some preliminary engineering works around those.
Right.
We're also trying to see how we can enter the cleaner fuels space of using ethanol, biodiesel. So those preliminaries are already in place. Engineering companies have already been engaged. So it's just a procedural aspect of procurement that we are taking. So from next year, we're trying to see a lot of these unfolding, and also depending on the resource envelope that we have. So the better the resource envelope, the more rollout we'll have. But if the resource envelope is not as expected, we'll try to stagger them in such a manner that we can only pick the chunk that we can chew. So the future is looking extremely bright. And with the supplies that we've just started supplying to the mines, it's looking extremely positive. And we're overwhelmed by the demand from the oil marketing companies, because we offer a quality product. They know we have a laboratory that we're rolling out of the country. It's the only laboratory in the country that is fully fledged as a petroleum. It's not partial, it's full. All spectrum of petroleum products can be attended to at Indeni. So it's one area that is one of the major strengths. So even our supplies to the mines, they follow a serious quality protocol. As we're speaking, there's a team that is seated at a site where we are offloading, sampling, and we are bringing the product back to Indeni for analysis and recertifying ourselves. Of course, if the end user wants a certificate, we will, because I know they pick, but we follow that protocol so that nothing changes along the value chain. And it's the same protocol, quality protocol we are introducing across the value chain. So we have a quality control that is extremely good, and we are assured of our products not getting contaminated, because we put our mind to it.
Right.
So we're putting logistics in place, and the only constraint, like I mentioned, is the resource envelope. Once we sort that out, the sky is the limit, and we're back.
Indeed. Well, that's some good news for all of us here. Looking forward to, lower fuel prices, especially as Indeni continues to grow. Now, as we conclude briefly, let me get your concluding remarks. And in your concluding remarks, you've briefly touched where we expect to see Indeni in the next few years. What else would you like to add to that, sir?
Well, the only message I have to the viewers to the Ndola fraternity is that we are back. And the startup is a little bit slower, but it's got a direction. So keep watching the space, and then you'll see what we have in stock. I think we are ready for the challenges. We are going around the financial obstacles soon, and we should be getting to where we were and reclaim our 50% supply that we had when the refinery was running, and even go beyond. Yeah, so our strategies is encompassing the region. We're not only focused on supply of products in one region, but we're discussing the number of people, and what I can say is we are well positioned for the future.
Great one. Right, this has been The Lens. We've been zooming into Indeni Oil Refinery, formerly known as Indeni Oil Refinery, but now Indeni Energy Company, with a great outlook. Looking forward to seeing more from Indeni, and of course we will be keeping you up to date right here on The Lens, and of course on Zanis, as we will also conduct a tour of the new Indeni Energy Company, so that you have a feel of what is all new about Indeni. And of course, as we roll out, it's a journey we are all taking together, and we will keep showing that to you as Zanis. Well, on behalf of the entire production team, and special thanks to Indeni Energy's MD, Mr. Evans Motor, who joined us in studio, and also not forgetting our sponsors for the screen, Mate Gadget Store, shop number 9 at Rickersmore, where you can get an interactive screen, touch screen like this one. You can connect to the internet, you can play your videos via USB, USB-C, USB, or any other way, casting your screen, anything you want. Perfect for programs like this, also perfect for workshops, trainings, and so much more. In fact, I will invite Indeni to come over and get a few of these as well. Well, thank you so much for joining us. This has been The Lens. Till next time, have a pleasant day.